What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Knab and Ro Show. I'm here with my compatriot and partner in crime, Ro. Say hi, Ro.
Hi, kids.
And welcome back to another podcast short starring Ro and Knab. What's happening? We try to spice it up every intro to go from there and whatnot.
I know. By this time, it gets late into the day.
That's right. So, Ro, what is this podcast short going to be about?
Sorry, I'm totally distracted by what's going on right here. Yeah. That's Sydney Joe.
Sydney Joe, hi.
Sydney Joe, what are you doing? Hi. She might pop up here now.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. I totally lost my train of thought.
I'm not cutting any of this out, by the way.
So fair. What are we talking about? We are talking about jousting.
Jousting! That's right. Yes. I will preface this because I know there's a lot of my friends that are actual full contact jousters or actually have jousted for years. I'm not claiming to be the Mr. Know-It-All about jousting. I'm a huge fan. I've been trained to do it. I know how to do it. I just haven't had a chance to do it. Had 2 kids, all that stuff, and
You did have an opportunity, and you did follow through.
yeah. I mean, I've jousted, not full contact, but I've done like the stuff with the SCA, you know, a couple different things, but you know, a little bit of stuff. But I know how to do it, and that's the thing. So,
Okay.
so I was trained by the Knights of Valor full contact jousting team. It all came from when I did the proposal and all that. I wanted to keep going. I wanted to train. I went to jousting boot camp. But I never actually got to do the full contact actual jousting competitiveness because, again, found out a kid was coming, yada, 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 and all that good stuff and things.
Yeah.
But
Priorities.
there are many different types of jousting you could do, and I don't know if I know them all or if I'm going to cover them all. I'm going with what I know.
Sure.
So again, preface, I am not the know-it-all for jousting. So there's the full contact, which is called reality stick. I might have said that wrong. Who knows? You get it. So you take Douglas fir full 1.5-inch lance, and you have a horse, let's say 2,000 pounds, another horse 2,000 pounds, plus a guy or a girl in the armor that could be 100 to 130 pounds, and they weigh anywhere from like 140 low end to like 2 something on the high end, right? So you have roughly 5,000 pounds, right? In the whole mix. And then you have them going towards each other. Like, let's say 2,500 pounds. Just simple math, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Going towards each other in the list. Mass times acceleration equals force, right? And this is what... That's a lot of force. It's like a freaking train wreck. Yeah.
Carry the 1, multiply by the 5, divide by... Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, and that actual quote, the mass times acceleration and force, came from Shane Adams, who is the owner of the Knights of Valor. So he's been doing that for a long time, and I know there is another one, Knights of Mayhem. I think they're down at one of the southwestern shows, maybe Texas. So that's another one of the full contact jousting troops. I know there's a bunch of other ones. There's a couple guys from Australia, guys down over in England that do it. But that's the most to the day, like modern jousting full contact as a sport.
Sure.
As a more, you don't want to get broken ribs, punctured lungs, you know, you don't want to quite do the full contact stuff. There's another troop that will do not the armor with, you know, the steel plates with the gridded grand guard where your lance gets stuck and you get a full face full of lance. Or they'll have actually like a big wooden shield that they attach to it, right? And that one uses a balsa tip, or like, or not even a tip, but like a balsa lance, so it's more likely to explode. It's more for hitting on target. You're less likely to get hurt. Have people gotten hurt from that? Yes, of course. And then there's also, I know the SCA, who I've ridden with as well. They use styrofoam tips. So you have a lance and you stick the styrofoam tip on it, so when you come down, you couch, cradle, and you bring it down in front of you, and you go nothing. It's just a little quick thing with the styrofoam. And actually, funny enough, and Kate, I'm sorry, I actually jousted against her, and I was trained to follow through. So you go down, you hit, and you keep going. You don't go boom and then raise it up, which you're supposed to technically do. So I go through, the styrofoam hits on target, and I keep going, and then the wood part of the lance goes and hits her. I'm like, oh crap!
Oh no!
Sorry.
Now those lances have to weigh a good chunk too.
They can't. I don't know the exact specs or how much they weigh, but I believe they're like 11 to 13 feet long.
Yeah.
Inch and a half thick, unless you do the ones where they might drill holes in, and I think they're just an inch. It depends. There's different ways to make the lance.
Sure.
For the Rioja stick, so the more full contact jousting.
One-handing something that long is like, I don't know, seems awkward as you're trying to like ride a horse and balance and not fall. I mean, there's just like so many things going on.
It is, and when we did in training, we would just sit down in the thing and we'd hold it out like this. So you're holding this lance up, and then you have to couch it, then bring it down, hold it, and then bring it back up, and then go out. Boom. And that was a workout. And so you have like all this pain here. You're like, oh gosh, it's so stressful. But it's a blast. And so there was a TV show on the History Channel called Full Metal Jousting. It was like one season, but that was, with Shane Adams, Ripper Moore, who was one of the knights that I jousted, didn't joust, but trained with. He kind of helped me out in the initial part of my training for the proposal. Awesome show. Look it up. Full Metal Jousting, the first season. It's great. I know a lot of the guys that were in that. They now have AJ Satterfield, who's a friend of mine who did all the videography, the pictures, all that jazz, put together a YouTube show called Tilt. So Tilt, it's a jousting term, so Tilt is the name of the show, and I believe they are caught up as far as the season. They have like 1 or 2 seasons out, maybe. Don't quote me, but you can always go to YouTube, look up Tilt, and you can see them. And I'm actually in a couple of those episodes from the jousting training. It's a couple of the beginning ones, so you'll see me in there. Yeah, but I never quite got to it, but we had a absolute blast doing it. So jousting, man, I'm telling you, it is quite incredible. Huh?
You said it's a great arm workout.
Yeah, depending on which one you use, right? It's all about technique. It's the riding. So when you're riding a horse, you can do like when you're doing a canter, you kind of post up every kind of bump. When you're jousting, you kind of have to rock your hips and stay with the horse, so it's a lot harder. And the way you have to sit on the horse, it's a specific. And I'm sure all my friends are like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I probably don't. I gave you a warning beforehand. I'm trying my best to explain. But
well, for anybody that's ridden horses, I think they can understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I might have some terminology wrong or whatnot, but you basically get the gist of it. Is what we're going for here. Yeah, I wish I could have more time to go do some jousting with the SCA. I don't have a lot of time. You know, I wish there was some more that I could do. I know I have the friends that do the balsa, which I would love to do the balsa. I would kind of do the middle of the road, you know, not the full contact, not the styrofoam. I'm not a huge fan of the styrofoam. I want at least something where you're hitting ish, you know. So that's kind of what I would like to do eventually. But yeah, jousting is fun. Jousting is one of the most dangerous sports you could do, the full contact version of it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Oh, I had this big old dream. I sent a long text when I first met Shane Adams of the Knights of Valor. I was like, hey, all these ideas. We can get a hold of these universities, get some teams together, and do like an NCAA competition. We could do Oregon State versus Ohio State. Big old jousting tourneys. It'd be amazing. But you got to think, had the cost of all the armor, the horses, all that. It would be absolutely insane. And it's such a liability. I don't think the universities would do it, to be honest. But
probably not.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, that is a lot of liability to have an animal that's involved too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there have been accidents.
Oh, sure.
Very, very sad accidents. I know within the past 2-3 years there was a really bad jousting accident. I'm not going to get into it, but let's just say one of the horses accidentally got hurt and it passed away from the injury, so it's tough.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's so hard when you get bigger animals that get injured because they just don't heal. There's no way.
Yeah, it's very tough. Absolutely.
From those broken bones or anything, so it's hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, my friends, If you want to know anything more about jousting, go find a jouster. Don't ask me. I couldn't. I feel like I'm not going to answer all your questions. I'll try my best to answer questions, but I can direct you to people to talk about, you know, the difference between the armor that you wear, what that is, the whole 9 yards. But again, this is just a Knab and Ro short. We could do a full 2 long 45-minute episodes just on
this. You could put your armor on and like go through all that too.
Oh yeah, we could do a full. That might be fun. Maybe I'll do like a.
You need to break out that
live or something. It's so fun. Oh my gosh. Alright everybody, well if you like this video, go ahead and jack that like button right in the nose. Don't forget to tell your friends and family all about the Knab and Ro Show. And as always, this podcast is a wrap.
Till next time, kids.